gentlemen, welcome to the King of L.A. Sports Report. I'm your host, the King of L.A. Sports, Rich Lopez, and I know what you're thinking. He's doing the show alone, but if you look around, I'm not doing it alone. Let me introduce you to the King of L.A. Sports bobblehead. Say hi, bobblehead. Yeah. Now today we'll be talking baseball, football, and basketball. Mostly LA sports, but we're going to sprinkle some of the latest breaking news in all of sports right in there. So we're going to start off with the NFL. We're going to be starting right there with the top free agent in NFL this year, and that would be Darrelle Revis. Revis played last year in the Buccaneers and made the Pro Bowl. Now he goes to his former arch nemesis, the New England Patriots. At one point a few years back, Bill Belichick was referred to by Revis as a jerk. Now that jerk is paying Darrelle Revis $12 million a year. So hopefully that works out for New England, and that I have a feeling that's going to be a big key to their success is their defense. They still need a few more offensive weapons, but their defense is what needs help. And Darrelle Revis brings what they lost with Aqib Talib, and we'll get into him right now after that. But yeah, so the Patriots signed Darrelle Revis to a one-year deal, $12 million, and that's a big steal if you ask me. Now moving on to the team that I think made a huge impact, the Denver Broncos. They signed Aqib Talib from the New England Patriots. They signed DeMarcus Ware, who somehow got left off the Cowboys' final roster. He was released for salary cap reasons. And they also signed TJ Ward, who was a safety, excellent safety out there. So the Broncos did some work, and I have a feeling they are not done. They did so much so far within the last couple of days. You would think they didn't make the Super Bowl last year, but I think they know exactly what they need. They lost very badly in the Super Bowl, and they know exactly what they need. They need that pass rush. They need someone to help out with Von Miller, and they've accomplished all those things. And I still don't think the Broncos are done yet. So look for the Broncos to be making some more free agent signings as well. Another big name, the former backup of the Chicago Bears, Josh McCown, he signed a 2-year deal with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers and his former head coach, Lovie Smith. And Lovie Smith has already declared that Josh McCown is going to be the starter this year. So it looks like there's no quarterback competition right now. The starter for next year for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Josh McCown. And I have to say that's a pretty good starter. He's already up there in age. Give him a few years, and I think he might be able to do something for them. The Buccaneers also signed Altron Werner, who's a great cornerback with the Tennessee Titans. They ended up getting him on the roster, which was a big move for Lovie Smith and the boys. And another big signing, Golden Tate has left the Super Bowl champion Seattle Seahawks. Golden Tate has signed a 5-year deal worth about almost $30 million in Detroit with the Detroit Lions, making an already explosive offense even more explosive. And, we got to talk about the Raiders because the Raiders are my team, so we got to talk about them, even though their moves aren't that great. But linebacker Austin Howard had signed an agreement with the Raiders for 5 years, $30 million. The Raiders also signed defensive end from the New York Giants, Justin Tuck, to a 2-year, $11 million deal. And they also, in another move, they re-signed Darren McFadden at a bargain price with only $1 million or $100,000 being guaranteed, which is a steal if DMC can stay healthy. But I have a feeling that he's not going to stay healthy because he never does. I've had him on my fantasy teams. The guy never stays healthy. I don't know what to do. So, in the good news, they got him. So he's not going to go to the Patriots or anything like that. Thank goodness. In other news, staying with the AFC West, the San Diego Chargers re-signed Donald Brown, or actually not re-signed, they signed Donald Brown away from the Indianapolis Colts, which is a good move for them. They can use some help right there at the running back position to help Ryan Matthews. Another couple big names, Jarius Byrd signed a 6-year deal with the New Orleans Saints, and I think the Saints picked up a good player right there. So along with their other guy, Vaccaro, turns out the Saints are going to have a pretty good secondary, if you ask me. So, good job, New Orleans Saints. Another team that actually did pretty well, the Cleveland Browns. They signed Dante Whitner away from the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers weren't able to sign him, but the Browns were able to sign him. The Browns also signed Carlos Dansby, which is another big pickup for them at the linebacker position. And a move that was going to happen last year around this time, Brandon Albert signs with the Miami Dolphins. He didn't get traded. He signed with the Dolphins. So look for Brandon Albert to be in Miami. DeQuell Jackson has signed with the Indianapolis Colts. And in some breaking news, Darren Sproles was just traded to the Philadelphia Eagles for a fifth-round draft pick. So that's some pretty good news for Philadelphia fans. Darren Sproles' wife wasn't too happy. He had been told by the Saints that he was going to be released and have the opportunity to pick which market he went to. But figures, hey, it's a business. The Saints found out that there was a lot of interest in Darren Sproles, so they looked to see what they can get for him. I mean, you can't blame the people. It is a business. So Sproles and his family aren't too happy about that, but I think he'll be happy in Philadelphia. They got a good offense that they can definitely use him. He was used a lot in New Orleans, but not too much, so I don't know if his body's completely broken down, but I'd have to say that's a good move by the Eagles, a steal if you ask me. And in other news, I'm going to talk one more time about the San Francisco 49ers. They made some, I wouldn't say big trades, but some trades that will catch your eye. First, they traded a 6th-round pick for Jonathan Martin. You all know Jonathan Martin was the one caught in the bullying scandal with the Miami Dolphins. So they sent Jonathan Martin, went to San Francisco for a 6th-round pick, and he's reunited with his head coach from Stanford, Jim Harbaugh. So that should be a good spot for him. I thought either with Jim Harbaugh or with Andrew Luck out in Indianapolis would be a good place for him. But, you know, he picked one of those spots, so he looked for him to be out there in the field. And then also the San Francisco 49ers sent a 7th-round pick or 6th-round pick to the Jacksonville Jaguars for their quarterback Blaine Gabbert. Yeah, Blaine Gabbert. Watch out, Colin Kaepernick. There might be a quarterback controversy. Okay, not really. But okay, and then some other breaking news. A deal just became official today. Eric Decker signs with the New York Jets in a multi-year deal. The Jets have been desperately looking for another wide receiver, and it looks like they've got Eric Decker in their sights, and they've signed him to a multi-year deal. However, Decker and his wife, Jessie James, it would seem that New York would be the good fit for these two as they have a popular reality show. And I know some of the women I know, they love that show. Eric and Jessie, they think it's the greatest thing since sliced bread. So, hey, can't blame the guy for making some money on the TV side and on the field. So shout out to Eric Decker. And a couple more surprises before I end up this NFL segment. Jared Allen has still not signed with the team yet, former DN of the Minnesota Vikings. He has said that if he doesn't sign with the team this season for a market value for him, he will retire from the game of football. So he must have his money saved, and he must be ready to ride off in the sunset if he doesn't get a deal that he likes. But I'm assuming a lot of teams are going to be going after him. He has yet to send up any visits to any teams, so I don't really know where his head's at. But look for him to be getting a deal soon. I would think the Patriots might be interested, maybe even the Cowboys after losing some people. You know, Cowboys also released Miles Austin, which is another Cowboy fan favorite. So a lot of the Cowboy fans I know are pretty upset with these moves that they're making. And the final thing I'm going to talk about for the NFL is Steve Smith. Steve Smith, who is going to be released actually today by the Carolina Panthers, has said that his playing time in Carolina is done. So Steve Smith, there's a lot of teams that can use his services. He's been rumored to go to San Diego. He's been rumored to go to Indianapolis. And he's also been rumored to maybe go to the 49ers. He's rumored to go to all these different places. But I think Steve Smith, he could be a New England Patriot. I mean, it wouldn't. They're saying right now Tom Brady needs more targets. Why not get Steve Smith? And another thing that kind of rubbed me the wrong way was the Panthers GM kind of came out and said that Smith was a virus in the locker room and he caused some issues. I mean, come on. The guy's the all-time leader in career catches for your franchise. Give the guy a break. Don't try to mess up his reputation for signing with another team. That's not even fair. Okay, well, I believe that's all I have for you for football today. Stay tuned right there. I will be right back after this commercial
Cam
break.
Newton, thank you for coming to visit the King.
No problem.
I promise to always report truthfully about the Panthers.
Don't forget 60 minutes of play a day, right?
60 minutes of play a day. What am I, a child?
Absolutely.
You know you're talking to royalty?
Yes, sir.
Are you calling out royalty?
Maybe.
You must not know me. You're using a very unsettling tone.
Okay.
That's why Darrelle Revis is going to have 6 interceptions against you this year.
Excuse me?
That's why the Panthers aren't going to win the division. That's why RG3 is better than you.
Whoa.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the King of L.A. Sports Report. As you can see, I'm in the Dodgers Lowdown Studios here, and to the right, you see there's a big blank piece of wall space right there. That's right, it's blank, and it's blank for a reason. Any of you out there looking to sponsor the show or to get your advertisements up there, you can email me, and we'll have a little bit of negotiations, and we can talk about what you guys can have right here on the side of on my wall right here to promote your business or whatever it is that you're willing to promote. So go ahead, I'll put the email on the screen. You guys can go ahead and decide if you want to sponsor the show. I'm willing for sponsors. Hey, I could even make more wall space if there's more sponsors. So hopefully you guys want to sponsor the show. I do all this, I'm on my own trying to make this happen. So any sponsors will be greatly appreciated. Okay, welcome back. Now I'm going to talk NBA, and more specifically the Lakers and Clippers. A tale of two different stories, if I might say so. And let's start with the Clippers. The Clippers, in the beginning of the season, they kind of looked like the same old Clippers to me. They lost to the Lakers on opening night. It wasn't the Clippers' best showing, but man, have they changed my mind. They won their last 9 straight games. They're a dangerous threat in the Western Conference. I just thought they were a good team in the beginning of the season. Now I consider them a threat in the Western Conference. I think signing Danny Granger was a huge move by the Clippers. Doc Rivers installing defense. Blake Griffin right now is playing like an MVP candidate. And honestly, he might get my vote if I were able to get a vote. So Blake Griffin is something special, ladies and gentlemen. And, he just needed a coach to teach him a little bit of toughness. Some of these guys, you don't always grow up tough. You have to be taught to be tough. And that's exactly what I think is happening with Blake Griffin and Doc Rivers. Doc Rivers is there. He's teaching him how to be tough, when to be tough, and when to be aggressive, when not to be aggressive, and teaching him the fundamentals of the game. And I can't say enough about the Clippers right now. I mean, I'm a Laker fan till the end, but, the Clippers, they got to pop their collar. Let the Clippers pop their collar. They're doing their thing. And you can't hate on them. They still got 16 championships, so they compare with the Lakers. But as of right now, they are the better team. So shout out to the Clippers. And if the Lakers aren't going to make it, I honestly hope the Clippers do. I got nothing but love for the Clippers. Sometimes it gets twisted about me against the Clippers, but I'm only against the Clippers when it's against the Lakers. So other than that, I'm hoping for the Clippers to have a good playoff run. And I think with the addition of Danny Granger, I think that just might do it, Clipper fans. So there you go. Don't ever say I don't give love to the Clippers like that. Now to some tragic news. The Lakers. Oh man, I don't even know where to start with the Lakers. Let's start with Phil Jackson. It's been rumored that Phil Jackson has a deal in place to sign with the New York Knicks. It's been rumored that Phil Jackson has a deal in place to sign with the New York Knicks for a front office position, and it's kind of looking like it's going down. You see kind of panic over here in Lakerland. Kobe Bryant came up and finally spoke up for the team, and I'm glad he finally did because no one else is speaking up. No one's saying nothing that's on the team. And Kobe came out and said that the Lakers front office needs to make changes and that he doesn't want to be a part of the team next year if they're not going to try to at least make an attempt to be good. And, to make a long story short, Kobe pretty much said that Mike D'Antoni needs to go. His time is up, and, he tried. Mike, no D'Antoni. He's got to go. I mean, Laker Nation, Laker fans, we've all had enough of him. And I hate to say it, but I don't like to wish anyone to be fired, but this guy needs to go, and he needs to go real soon. And, you know, hopefully, I think Phil might be out of the picture, although nothing is official in New York. But I still think Phil Jackson might be out of the picture. So, you know, maybe we could stay in the family with the Byron Scott or figure out a way to get Brian Shaw. But, yeah, Phil Jackson, Kobe said he doesn't see how this can happen twice in 2 years. 2 chances to get Phil Jackson and then just have it be thrown away. Jim Buss, you need to get your act together, man. A lot of Laker fans are very upset. And even the Laker fans that aren't diehard Laker fans, regular Laker fans are turning into Clipper fans. Speaking of Clipper fans, Kobe Bryant also had this to say. He said about the Lakers' loss to the Los Angeles Clippers, Kobe said, wow, it was tough. Now he knows what it's like to be a Clipper fan. Ooh. So the Black Mamba is not holding nothing back. You can tell that he's a Laker to the end, taking a shot at the Clippers. But, like I said, you got to let the Clippers pop their collar. They're doing their thing. And hopefully they can make a run and represent Los Angeles in these NBA Finals. I can't go against that. So now I'm going to get to one question that was sent to me. I got a question from David from Southern California. David asked me, with the rise and fall of various sports franchises, where do you see the Lakers going after this terrible season? Well, I see the Lakers staying right where they're at. I don't think they're going anywhere. The franchise isn't in trouble of leaving the city or anything like that. I think they're just going to look at this season and put it on the back burner. They're going to act like it never ever happened. And as a Laker fan, I want to act like it never ever happened. So I don't think it does anything to discredit the franchise because, I mean, our championship history speaks for itself. But it is tough for Laker fans as we're not accustomed to losing, you know. So we got to deal with this. And, you know, it builds character. You got to watch these games where we're getting blown out by 48 points by our crosstown rival who's never been good. You gotta watch these games all the way through because it builds character and it makes you appreciate how good of a team that we have here in Los Angeles. But no, I don't think it affects anything. And I think the Lakers, after this season, they'll make some moves. It's in the history of the Lakers, they're not going to sit back and just let other teams get better while they stay the same. It just won't work out like that. And that I'm pretty confident about. Okay, well, a couple other things in the NBA. The Nets beat the Heat yesterday, and the Nets are now 3-0 versus the Heat this year. I don't know if that's any problems or anything like that for anyone else, but hey, if the Nets get into the playoffs and have to play the Heat, that might be a problem. They got some veterans, they got some pretty good players over there that might turn it up in playoff time. So, hey, Miami Heat, watch out. My pick still for the East is the Indiana Pacers, though. So that's all I have for basketball today. Hold that thought. We'll be right back after this commercial break.
Oh my God, it's the King of L.A. Sports. Oh my goodness. Oh, sign anywhere, just anywhere. Can't get a copy of this. Oh, there's no way. I've seen you before.
Oh, hey, King.
Hey, how you guys doing?
All right, what do you think about Mike Trout this year?
He's doing very good. Excellent 5-tool player, but he's no Yasiel Puig, that's for sure.
All right, there.
All right, take it easy, guys.
Are you the King of L.A. Sports?
Yeah, that's me. How you doing?
Good.
Yeah, of course.
So how do you feel about the Clippers this season?
Clippers are going to be good. It's nice to see another team in LA actually making moves. All right, take it easy, man.
You too.
Thank you. Bye.
Richard Lopez, the King of Los Angeles sports. If it's happening in Los Angeles, it's happening with the King.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Now it's time for baseball, my favorite part of the show. You notice I put it to the end because a lot of the guys and girls that watch this show, they want my intake on, Dodgers and Angels baseball. So I save it to the end. That way you guys can watch the other stuff first. Me, always a thinking man. So I'm going to start off with the to be politically correct, the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. I'm going to start off with them because I really think they're going to be a good team this year. They've made some front office mistakes, which I'm not too pleased with, even though I'm not an Angel fan, so I can imagine how Angel fans feel about this. But I'm going to start right off the top with Mike Trout. They signed him they figured out his arbitration situation, and they signed him to a $1 million deal for this year. And the GM is acting like he gave tons of money to Mike Trout. I'm sorry, but you barely gave him anything. And for a guy that's had maybe some of the best numbers in baseball history as of late, that was a smack in the face. So, Mr. Angels GM, I don't even want to say your name because I feel bad for you. It's a smack in the face to Mike Trout. This guy's put up monster numbers. You're going to give him $1 million when you got other guys making 50, 60 million that aren't even half as good as Mike Trout. And then to come off and act like you're doing this guy a favor, saying you're breaking records. Give me a break. Give me a damn break. That is BS. It's a smack in the face to Mike Trout. And don't be surprised if Mike Trout is in pinstripes or on the Red Sox or maybe even the Dodgers. Because the Dodgers are willing to spend money on good outfielders. But my thinking is that he's going to end up on the East Coast because that's where he's from. He kind of does look like a Mickey Mantle. So sorry, Angel fans. I don't know if you guys are real confident that he's going to stay with the Angels, but I think he's been disrespected. And once you've been disrespected like that, you can't go back, especially when there's tons of money waiting for you somewhere else. If the Angels come out and offer him a bigger deal than Pujols got, then I can say, hey, maybe he'll stay. But until then, I don't know what they're doing. That $1 million is just a slap in the face, if you ask me. Although I do understand the business side of it, looking at it as a fan and from the player's perspective, that's a smack in the face. And a lot of you Angel fans know it. You know it. You know it is. All right, and we're going to stick with the Angels still. There were some rumors and some beef, supposedly, about Mike Trout and Albert Pujols. And to be honest, I don't know what Pujols is mad about. He makes about $299 million more than Mike Trout. And if there is any beef, it's because Pujols wishes he can do what Trout does. I mean, don't get me wrong. I sit there and watch the game. I believe a couple years back when the Cardinals won, Pujols hit 3 home runs in one game, I believe. And I knew right then and there this was the best time of his career. And ever since then, he's been kind of on the downfall. But as of this year, people are saying that Pujols is healthier, which is good news for Angel fans. But what isn't good news is that he's disrespecting Mike Trout. You don't disrespect Mike Trout. Mike Trout is pretty much carrying that baseball team. Without Trout, the Angels will be in last place in their division, and that's saying a lot because they have the Astros in their division. So, but I honestly, if the Angels can get healthy, I think Mike Trout, Pujols, Josh Hamilton, Jared Weaver, I think these guys and C.J. Wilson, I think they could all do a good job this year, and I think the Angels could possibly walk away in the American League West with the championship. They are a good team. I don't know how deep they are, but maybe they can make some changes going forward. But the Angels, in my opinion, they are my pick to win the American League West. Yeah, I'm gonna get some flack for this one, but they are my pick to take the West. I just think they have too much talent, and if Trout plays anywhere near the way he played last year, look for the Angels to win the American League West. That's my opinion. And now we're going to talk a little bit about the Dodgers. Yep, the Dodgers. The Dodgers are getting ready for their big season this year. A lot is expected of these Los Angeles Dodgers. I mean, they're the favorites to win the World Series. They're favorites for pretty much about everything. They're supposedly, everyone believes they have the best pitching staff, which I also agree with, but the Washington Nationals are pretty close. But for now, I still think the Dodgers have the best pitching staff when healthy. And they're looking to make some good things happen. Matt Kemp actually got his first start of the spring season. It wasn't in an actual game. It was in an inter-squad scrimmage with minor leaguers. But at the same time, he finished the game. He didn't feel hurt. Nothing about it was bad. So that's good news for Dodger fans. Hopefully he's ready by opening day in Los Angeles. Because, as I'm going to be a little selfish. I'd love to see Matt Kemp when I go. And yeah, the Dodgers, they've actually, one problem I have with them is Brandon Lee. They pay this guy almost, I think, $17 to $20 million, and this guy couldn't catch a cold. This guy is horrible. His best days are behind him in Seattle. And now that's another reason. The wall is blank because I used to have a picture of Brandon Lee on my wall, and then it wouldn't close. Oh! Yeah, so I had a picture of Brandon Lee on my wall. The door wouldn't close, so I had to take it down. But in all seriousness, Brandon Lee's got to go. I mean, it might hurt a little bit, but hey, we're the Dodgers. We can spend money like that. And just for the record, about 4 years ago, I wouldn't be saying the Dodgers could spend money because they didn't have any money. Frank McCourt. So Dodgers, they're doing big things right there. They got most of their players healthy. They're just working on Kemp. And look for Kemp to be I think it all centers around Kemp. If Kemp can be healthy, if Kemp can do the things that he was paid that big contract to do, look for the Dodgers to have a record season in the National League West. I think maybe not only because I'm a Dodger fan, but I think they have the potential to live up to the expectations and go all the way. They have a veteran staff, veteran players. They got young players. They've got it all. They got everything you need. Their bullpen is stacked. So look for the Dodgers to be making some big moves. And as they already have a good team, look for some big moves too later on in the season around the trade deadline. Because there's one thing I know about these new Dodger owners. They don't play around. They'll spend money because they know they'll get it back. Just check out the ticket prices. All right. So, and I'm going to bring up Jock Peterson. Jock Peterson is one of the up-and-coming stars on the Dodgers. They're not rushing him into anything because they believe he's the future of the Dodger outfield. And that's going to bring me right into my next question. Brandon from Southern California writes, What are your thoughts on the Dodgers outfield situation? What do you think they will do with 4 all-star outfielders? And what about the rise of Jock Peterson? What's the best case scenario for 2014 and beyond? Well, Brandon, I believe the Dodgers should stick with their 4 all-star outfielders that they have. And I think if Kemp's healthy, it's his job. It's got to be. In the beginning of the spring, I was thinking, it should be Ethier this, Ethier that. But if Kemp is healthy, you got to give him that shot. Kemp, if he can even get close to the MVP season he had in, I think it was 2010, then the Dodgers will be golden. And we have Ethier switching up like for different days, right-handed pitchers. You can bring Ethier in to switch up. But this is my thing too. If you can possibly trade Ethier later on down the road and bring in an infielder or any other type of position player for Ethier, that would be not a problem. Because in my opinion, the Dodgers have another outfielder right there waiting, and that's who I just talked about, Jock Peterson. This guy is the future of the Dodgers, future outfielder of the Dodgers. And I think with the proper coaching, this guy could be on the field as soon as this year. So in the future, I think these outfielders, they're getting older. Crawford's a little older. If Kemp can stay healthy, he's good. And we got Puig, and I don't think he's going anywhere unless it's for Giancarlo Stanton. But that's a whole nother issue. That was some stories that were talked about last season. So, I mean, Ethier off the bench, it's gonna be tough because of his contract. But there's 182 games in the baseball season, and it would not hurt to have 4 all-star outfielders. And if we did happen to trade Ethier to another team and bring in an infielder, a catcher, or someone like that, we have Jock Peterson waiting in the minors. And that right there is a gold. Jock Peterson is a stud. I've been watching him over spring. The guy can hit the ball, he can field, he's got an arm, he's got it all. And the Dodgers, they want to bring him in to start. They don't want him coming off the bench. But worst case scenario, they can call him up halfway through the year. If they make a trade for Ethier or someone else, then we'll be in business. I don't think if we lose Ethier, I don't think we miss a step. The girls might be upset because I know there's one thing I know about Ethier is the women love him. That's for sure. I know that for a fact. And the best case scenario for the Dodgers moving forward is to stop signing people to these big contracts. Okay, I understand we got to take care of our main guys, Kershaw, any other of these guys. But when Crawford's deal, once all that comes up, let Crawford go. You know, I understand they made that trade with Boston to make us better, and it did. But at the same time, Crawford cost a lot of money. And with his whole basketball wives, he's dating the star of the basketball wives, Chad Ochocinco's. I think her name's Evelyn, Chad Ochocinco's wife, Antoine Walker's former wife. He might have his head somewhere else. And judging by that dive I seen earlier in the spring, yeah, his head's not all the way in the game. So, I mean, at the same time, he's a good player, but he is injury prone. So hopefully Carl Crawford can get back on where he ended up last season. He was doing good at the end of last season. Hopefully he gets there. If not, I wouldn't mind seeing him traded. I have to say it. I think Jock Peterson's ready to take over center field or left field. And yeah, that's my opinion. The Dodgers going forward. We have money, yes. We need to stop spending so much money. We've already spent enough. We're good. We spend more than any other team in baseball. I don't know why we would need to spend any more. But nevertheless, I'm not the Dodger owners. I don't have billions of dollars. Because if I did, I might be spending it like these guys. So I'm just confident the Dodgers have new ownership and they don't have Frank McCourt no more. I'm still answering Brandon's question. So that's the best case scenario. The Dodgers lock up their studs. Kershaw, they got to sign Hanley. Hanley wants to retire in L.A. And these are things that you got to do if you're the Dodgers. I mean, these are no-brainers if you ask me. So look for the Dodgers to have a good season this year. And then one more thing. Beckett, I believe, is going to be their 5th starter. But I think that they got to give Zach Lee, their young prospect, a chance. I know some people might not think he's ready, but I think he's ready. And I think sooner or later he's going to be taking that 5th spot in the Dodger rotation. So watch out for Zach Lee. That's a big name in the Dodger pitching staff. So yeah, that is about all I have today for baseball, football, and basketball. Okay, like I said, that's all we have for today. I want to remind you that this blank space right here is for any sponsorship that wants to sponsor the show. I'm open to taking sponsors. Email me. My email's at the bottom of the screen. richardlopez020yahoo.com. If you guys would like to sponsor the show, I'd be more than happy to put your banner or your poster, whatever you guys have up, on that blank wall right there. I know you see the blank wall. So I would love to have some sponsors, you know. It would help us out a lot. All any money goes directly back into the show. And yeah, that is all I have for you today. I am the King of L.A. Sports, Richard Lopez. You can find me on Instagram, YouTube, Twitter, and Facebook. Instagram and YouTube, look under the King of L.A. Sports. On Facebook, I'm also under the King of L.A. Sports. And on Twitter, it's Rich Lopez, KOLASE. Like the page on Facebook, follow me on Twitter, subscribe on YouTube, and also follow me on Instagram. And that is all I have for you today. Until next time, I'm the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, along with my sidekick, the bobblehead, King of LA Sports bobblehead. Give him a round of applause. Give him a round of applause, yeah. Until then, I'm the King of LA Sports, Richard Lopez, reminding all of you that when you live like Rich, you will never be poor. Never, never, never be afraid to roll the dice.